Hello, everyone. Welcome to this FSL Valorant Evolve, the first one of the year 2022. We've got a whole brand new look. We're the same old casters, though. Hey, I'm Quack, and with me is Key. Dude, how are you loving this whole new thing? You've got a new setup too, don't you?
Yeah, so it is my I have a new setup as well, but I really like the graphics, especially for FSL Evolve, and of course we're welcoming 2022 with a tournament, and I'm really excited for that because we're finally back for the FSL circuit. We ended with Elite last year in October. We had Evolve sometime in late November, early December, and we're having Evolve again. And the whole point of Evolve and the whole FSL circuit, of course, is to really provide a space for those who want to play competitive to actually compete. So Evolve is for those plat and below in the previous act, so don't be surprised if someone has maybe a diamond buddy or anything. It just has to be in the previous act. If it's in older acts or something, it just has to be in the last act.
Yeah, last act is the one that we're really looking for. Plat 3 and below, to be specific. So,
Yeah,
there is a chance that if you grind enough, you might be able to carry yourself over to Diamond in this act. But then
yeah,
again, this act just came out pretty recently-ish, right? Like a couple weeks? No, I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe almost a month-ish. But along with this new act came a new agent, and she's available for play in this very tournament.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. We've seen it a few times, right? Whenever there's a new agent comes out, sometimes there will be teams that run it. Maybe not too much success. We've seen that in the KO days. We've seen that. We haven't even seen Chamber, by the way. Don't forget that Chamber was actually not enabled before in previous FSL. So it's not just Neon, but also Chamber that will be available today. So I'm really excited to see both of those agents in play. Chamber more likely than Neon, I think. But we'll have to see. I mean, teams can get creative here. It is Evolve after all. We've seen some strange comps here, some really fun comps. They've worked, they've not worked, but we'll just have to see because the teams will choose their own agents.
Exactly. They have to kind of figure things out on their own and maybe mess around a little bit. That's why Evolve exists in the first place. Like you mentioned, it is a rank limited tournament, but it's really to, I think, encourage, if you kind of want to compete, but you're afraid of like having to go up against a team like, I don't know, Alter Ego Celeste. Does that name ring a bell?
Maybe.
Maybe. or Enigma Galaxy, or, Renata's White, all these big names. Mad Army, which I think they have a new team now, but more on that
Yeah.
in the future. But yeah, a lot of big names, big teams in the, I guess, VCT Game Changer Southeast Asia Opens, and those are kind of scary. And that's why
Yeah.
we have Evolve. You get to join this one and maybe not, I don't want to say mess around, but you get to experiment. You get to try
Yeah.
out. Maybe you're, I don't know, silver to gold, but you kind of have that competitive bug, that itch, and you want to scratch it. You
Yeah.
join Evolve. That's what this is all about.
And like I said, it's you have to start somewhere, right? Like not everyone starts off as Diamond, Immortal, Radiant.
Yeah.
Like you have to start at some point, and then if you want to compete, you play with other players that are like-minded, want to really
Mm,
increase your skill level, and I think that's what FSL really provides here, right? That space to compete, to
yeah.
improve, and eventually reach the big stages, right?
I
You have to
love
start
it.
somewhere.
Exactly. And in the sign up sheets, like, I don't know, I'm not a pro. I don't really sign up for tournaments myself, but I imagine you sign up for something like a local VCT qualifier or something. You kind of want a team, and you want to,
Yeah,
have the best chances at qualifying and playing against the big guys. But for FSL Evolve, you get to sign up as an individual, which is pretty cool. You
yeah.
get to maybe meet some new people, make some friends, and that's why you gotta check out FSL. Like the Facebook page, follow the Twitch channel, what have you, all the socials, somewhere in the chat, somewhere below, somewhere everywhere. But of course, this is going to be our first matchup of the day. It's going to be still somewhat within group stages, but it's Pinkunotori versus Toe Full.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I think we saw TOEFL in the previous FSL Evolve.
Select your
And
agent.
okay, we're starting to see some interesting agents here. For the side of Pinkunotori, there's a Phoenix on Bind. So I'm actually really interested in that
Hey, old
because
school.
I think that Phoenix is super effective on Haven. But no Neon, no Chamber this time around.
Yeah, we're
And no
kind
Jet.
of no Jet. It's Reina instead. And I guess we're kind of going back to our roots a little bit. We're bringing out the Cypher as well. Um, I think Phoenix is a little bit underrated ish. I mean, teams these days, you know, they love to go for Sky. They love to go for maybe even Neon. Like the whole joke with her coming out was that her wall is so much more effective, but it
Yeah,
doesn't curve. It doesn't heal you. I
yeah.
think Phoenix kind of has that bit of a like what do you call those? The beginner wheels on the tricycle,
Uh,
training wheels.
yeah, training wheels.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's kind of something like that. If you're maybe a little bit new to Valorant, you make
I
some
was gonna say
mistakes,
that
you can
too.
kind of heal up. Yeah.
For Neon, you kind of have to be in the open to cast your wall as well. Like you
Mm,
actually have to expose
you
yourself.
can't
For
throw
Phoenix,
it.
like you mentioned, the curving actually helps you. You know, like you can do it from behind a wall. And for Neon, you kind of have to expose yourself a little bit first.
So I kind of like that for sure, and just the fact that you can heal yourself. I mean, obviously on higher levels of play, maybe that's not as effective, but it might be useful for evolved players. And right now, it's just going to be a little bit of information. I like that
Ooh,
they
I
have
like
this set up.
aggressive peek here. All right, Celeste. Oh no, she's not checking her corners. All right, so that was a little bit aggressive peek there to A short. I think that for some aggression, you kind of need to push S2 or need a little bit more utility there. But great play by Pinkunotori there. They just waited the recon bolt out, baiting her into a false sense of security. And now they're actually all flushing into sight.
Very smart, but still, this gives the plant down over to Pinkunotori. It's 4v4. Now it's a little bit contested towards lamps. They're trying to take the players down, and along with that, they might just be able to flush out, but they still got to be very careful because there are 3 ones on the other side of that wall. They swing together, and they are able to pick up 2, and there's the last one, LP Nani, all the way in the back of short. Of course, Tofu will be the ones winning this retake.
Yeah, and TOEFL, is that actually a Singlish pun?
I think
Or
a little
am I
bit,
missing something out?
because toe might mean something like,
Weapon here.
I don't know. I don't actually. I'm not too good at this. I think toe means like you faint or like
Yeah,
oh, it's just, like,
already,
tired.
right?
Yeah, something like that, right? I don't really know the actual
Or
meaning of the
or are
word.
there do their players have the last name Toe?
Maybe I don't think so. Maybe,
No, there's
there's
just
a
the
chance.
last limb.
But it also
There's
sounds
a
like
limb.
tofu.
Don't overthink
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it sounds like tofu. That's what I was getting at. So that's the fun part about these tournaments, right? You get players with new names, and like you're just trying to figure out what the names are. Celeste, though, look at her. Oh, maybe she's trying to channel her AE Celeste. Look at the sheriff there.
I
Another
like
sheriff
it.
by pushing A short again.
Oh!
The headshot! What was that flick?
This girl. All right, this time she's not pushing out, just holding the angle. She gets the flick, and you see that one little shot sends so many shivers down the spines of Pinkunotori. They don't want to push this anymore, and the star just makes it even worse.
They just froze in place there. But look at Nut Zero. She's in a sneaky position here with the Spectre. This is the nerf Spectre after all, though. But in
Close
close
range.
quarters, that's perfectly fine.
Shot into
Oh,
her. She
okay, she
fires
gets the
right
first
away.
one. Oh, she actually got a second dink.
Yeah, a little bit mismanaged perhaps with the movement afterwards, but of course the dink will only do so much. She tops herself off, and now the Sage player is going to push up in towards Hookah. But I love this game sense from AGXL. She knows where the push is coming, instantly smokes it off, and now Pinkunotori are going to have to find different options. They still jump through, though, and they're going to be pretty much running into the lines of fire from TOEFL. 1 player remaining, and I don't know what LP Nani can do, trying to tap away, but Poyo is just going to pepper her full of bullets. 2-0 to start.
I'm actually a little bit sad that we didn't see the tournament with the Ares before it got nerfed.
Really?
I mean, I just wanted to see the spectacle. I don't,
Okay.
I don't encourage LNG
Shenanigans.
crimes against humanity, but it was fun for a while.
For a while, maybe.
Like, okay, I wanted to see maybe at least a series with it. Like it was pretty funny.
Fair enough. Second round, everyone buys the Ares. There's no wind up. I mean, it is still pretty decent, I think. It's
Yeah.
not just the fact that there's no wind up makes it so much stronger. But still, we got to consider Pinkunotori as full Vandals right now. They have to be very careful about how they approach this, because if they're not, they might just lose their rifles. And Natsuru, the perfect setup, somehow in towards the teleporter already. They might not know this. A single ghost on the other side is not going to do too much, but still Natsuru strikes at the perfect time. That's the double kill. That's 2 rifles on the ground.
Wait, how does she get into the teleporter?
That's a very good question. I didn't catch it.
Did they open the door with a Sova recon? I think I totally missed that because I was watching the minimap, but I think they might have
There's a
opened
chance,
it
yeah.
by a recon.
They came to play.
Yeah, they definitely came to play here. That's a really sneaky setup there. Like, no one was ready for that. And look at this flank. It's a double flank 2 for Celestin plus Poyo. Poyo. Alright, they get one. They trade for another though. That's all down to Cow Pad Nim. 1v3 right now though. So it's going to be really difficult for her. She's getting pulled into the gravity well as well. She does have a Vandal and everyone else has Spectres.
Oh, this is going to be a pretty scary, sketchy round. She's got 10 seconds left.
Does she
She
have time?
cannot, she cannot make it all the way over onto A to get the spike planted. At this point, she's really just trying to save and hold on to the rifle, transfer it over into the next round. But with this win, with only 2 players eliminated on the side of TOEFL, it's free upgrades. Key.
Yeah. They get free upgrades. It was the bonus round as well. So that's 3-0. They had 3 members survive. And they eliminated 4 from Pinkunotori. Like, it couldn't have gotten any worse for Pinkunotori. Aquarium, though, she was AFK the previous round. I think maybe she had to do something. Like, she had 7.8k just now. So she's able to buy up still. Able to buy a gun. So I think that Pinkunotori want to take this round back.
There's her Ares on LP Nani.
There you go.
She's got her lockdown available as well. She could use that to initiate some site entries, but still the main thing is they have to deal with the Vandals on the other side first. Maybe with some careful peeks here and there. But I'm very curious to see what else Natsuru has installed, because the way that she's been playing so far, so sneaky. They've got team setups. The way that she pushed into its teleporter the previous round, Pinkunotori had no idea.
And I mean, they really have to use their utilities a bit more, I feel, on the side of Pinkunotori. They're not getting much information, and on TOEFL, they're just getting their flanks. Bind is notoriously very hard to flank in. But, oh, okay, there you go. The teleporter is going to throw them off, though. This flank is going to be considered useless because, I mean, it depends if they're actually going to watch their backs here. It seems like they're not going to watch their backs. Ing is already here as well. Tries to kill the Phoenix. Oh, but Phoenix actually gets a jump on her. There's the flank as well, pushing up. Celestin is going to finish off Himuru, though.
Spike planted.
A little bit of a trade. And now Celeste is doing a little bit more damage. I like it. No detain. She continues to push up front, but unfortunately gets eliminated from the back. And with Shower's control, they just might be able to do this if they can secure a couple more frags. Aquarium has to res as well. She can bring the numbers back over to Pinkunotori. It's a 3v2. And now all Natsuru has to do is try to tap on the spike, maybe bait out a peek here and there. But without the numbers advantage, I don't like where this is going. Nanoswarm's being popped. She pushes out front, tries to go in for the swing. AGXL eliminates, and we're down to the 2v2 once more. Aquarium down really low as well, but what they're really trying to do is to play for time at this point. All they need is that one frag, and Raise the Flamingo will be the one to get it. It's the first win for Pinkunotori.
It was an expensive win, though. They lost all 5 members, but they at least got the round. That's what they wanted. But right now, their economy is still hurting. Look at the cash situation for the attacker side. They can buy 3 rifles, some light armors. Even Raisa Flamingo can't even buy armor for herself, so she needs to top up with her own heal, with an overheal. They need to figure this out. On the side of TOEFL, they're still pretty healthy. Still 4 rifles and a Spectre.
Very healthy. I mean, even if they lose this round, I think a couple of the members on TOEFL will be able to buy up on the next as well.
Yep.
So it's not the worst thing for them, and they are at a 3-1. They just gotta be a little bit more careful. That, of course, round was won thanks to the lockdown for the most part, I think. Create a lot of space. But coming into this one now, it's Pinkunotori with their half-ish buy, trying to find some kind of an entrance in towards the B site. They're slowly creeping up on towards B long, but look at those camera setups from Natsuru. I don't know if Pinkunotori are aware of this. They heard it for sure, but they walk right into the crossfire. Celeste firing at
baiting her teammates.
I think she didn't want to give a position in case there were more, but still,
Exactly.
you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Teammate falls, you make it a trade, and now the push coming in from Hookah, they know this all too clearly.
I mean, she was really waiting for more. Okay, she gets a third kill as well for the team. Dismisses away, but she only has 29 HP remaining. Her teammates need to help her out. There's one big flank though. Nani is gonna kill Poyo Poyo
30 seconds
in
left.
spawn, but Ying is there watching her. The spike carrier is also very far away, and Ying is gonna finish her off, securing the 4th round for TOEFL. That's a reset for Pinkunotori.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, they might have lost a round, but at least this way, they might be able to kind of coordinate their economy once more. A couple of buys from teammates here and there. So we got full reset on economy. Everyone's kind of tied up, but 4-1 is still the score. And if we take a look at ultimate economy, TOEFL are flourishing.
Yep, they have 4 ultimates up. I mean, not all of them can be used all the time. Like, I feel like the Astra ult is very situational still.
True.
But you know the thing about Astra, even with her ult being so situational, her regular kit just feels like it's
the best.
suffocating. It's just so good. Okay, so let's look. She's just pushing everywhere. She's
feeling herself.
she's definitely feeling herself. She's really playing Arena really well. She's really channeling her inner AE Celeste here.
And right now, it's just really trapping Pinkunotori. Himuru tries to push out, but got stunned by the Nova Pulse. I mean, Gravity Well, probably as well. And this is really difficult. It slows down and stifles their approach so many times that whenever they try to actually push out, it's not the best thing. Nani, though, will be able to pick up one over onto Hookah. This might just change things, but they make the quick decision to rotate over onto A instead. They have to make it a fast push, though, because the Sage player, Poyo Poyo, might just come in to stop this. The Cosmic Divide at the worst possible timing. You got 36 seconds left, and no way can you push out of this wall.
Yeah, it is very situational, but if you have someone already watching the wall, this is the perfect wall. But there's a big flank from Himuru. Might be able to find someone. AGXL just turns that corner as Himuru peeks. But it's still a 3v4. There's only 18 seconds left. The spike needs to go down, and it needs to go down fast.
I don't see it fast, though. They're kind of slowly creeping out the side, making sure that side is secure first. Himuru is going to be able to find one, but AGXL comes in along with her teammate, getting the other trade. It's down to the spike plant. They managed to get it, but 1v1 is the situation. Himuru swings from lamps. Poyo Poyo did not know where to look, and because of that, the first other win goes to Pinkunotori 4-2.
It's going back and forth now, and I actually didn't think that execute worked, but they played it so well. Even though they lost a few members there, they came in the clutch, and Himuru getting that final kill. I think Poyo Poyo just didn't know where Himuru was. And she flanked all the way from spawn too, so I think that was a big surprise for them.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like maybe that is how TOEFL wants to play, right? They're super defensive. Celeste might be that one wild card that loves to push out here and there, but the rest of the team are so sneaky. They kind of just starve information, stall for as much as possible. Pinkunotori, once that pressure is on and they actually get the spike planted, TOEFL kind of start to feel a little bit nervous in the retakes. So this is a very interesting dynamic, but still 4-2. If Pinkunotori can chain a couple more rounds together, they could just crumple TOEFL's economy.
You should run.
Yeah, I feel like they're very good at holding the sites, but if they actually get, if they actually let them in the sites, the retakes just aren't as clean as their holds. So I think that for them, they really need to be more disciplined in their holds. But look at this, it's a triple flank coming from TOEFL.
Oh my
All the way from the back here. Might be a little bit too little too late because the spike is going to go down, and 5v5 retakes are probably the worst retakes that you can play.
Very brawly, very chaotic. It's very difficult to defend against unless you have the post-plant positions. A nice little piece of hot hands. And Aquarium comes back in from the side of Garden. It's a triple spray. And then the final shot from Raise a Flamingo. It's the flawless win for Pinkunotori. And with that, let's take a look at TOEFL's economy.
Yes, they're starting to look... Yeah, they're still pretty okay. I guess they lost 2 rounds in a row.
One more round?
One more round, definitely one more round. Next round will be pretty bad for them, but hey, like Aquarium just lined them up and killed them all in on B long there. Okay, so I feel like something is up when 3 of your teammates are flanking. Like there should be less flankers and more site holders, right? And we just mentioned it in the previous round before they execute that their retakes just aren't that clean. So I feel like the flank was just a little too much.
I think it's a good attempt, but it's one that can also be kind of predictable when you don't have that many players trying to hold the site. So it's like, all right, deduction. The other possible place they could be is probably the flank, and that is kind of how it goes. Still, though, again with the defensive holds, this time it's 3 players on A that Pinkunotori have to deal with. And what an angle! She takes off her head. It's the Sage diff, getting the heal to top herself off as well, but doesn't expect the push coming in from Showers. Puts herself in an open position, and that allows for Raze Flamingo to strike yet again. The second kill now. Spike planted, 2v3. Natsuru on the flank. Make that a 1v3.
Yeah, it's not looking very good. There's a wall as well, so she has to shoot. She has to get into the site from Showers and then break the wall. Gonna be looking very difficult, but she actually gets a spike diffuser, just misses away, tries to go for a next fight. He reloads, 11 bullets left, but it's a little too late. AGXL is gonna take her down, and the defuse is gonna go through. TOEFL bring it back and reset Pinkunotori yet again.
And it's just this constant tug of war. We were talking about the back and forth, and now it's going to be TOEFL coming back into the game. They managed to save themselves from a, well, save round. Here we are back into full buys all across the board. This is very lovely to watch for their very first game of the day.
Yeah. And Pinkunotori, they have a lot of money because they had a flawless round previously, just right before the previous round. They won a flawless against the TOEFL save, so like, they're still pretty rich. They have the full guns. Let's see if they can execute this time. It looks like, hey, TOEFL are taking a page off of Enigma Galaxy's playbook. Look at the wall on long for the Sage to get the orb. Now she has her res up.
And that could be a very game-changing ultimate, but still
game-changing.
Wink, wink. All right, the push coming through into B instead. But looking at how they're positioned, it's all the way at the back of site. I like this because it's very defensive. You get to stall for as long as possible. Himuru, though, going to try to create so much space for her team. She traps the tripwire. She goes forward. Activates the tripwire. And that kind of baits out a couple of peaks. They managed to take a couple of players down as well. LP Nani getting the entry, eliminating the Astra just makes it that much worse, and now they have the site.
They're actually into the site now, but Poyo takes one down, evens things up. Both reses are up, but both teammates are just in 2 dangerous positions to actually get the res out. Let's see if Pinkunotori can hold this. Dollar falling in. Aquarium takes one, gets the res off. Ing is gonna kill one though. Celestim takes 2 down, and now TOEFL are in the lead. The res comes out as well for the defender's side. And Celeste takes a 3rd, but Himuru is gonna finish her off. The defuse is just gonna go through though. There's no time at all for Himuru to stop this defuse.
Unfortunate circumstances, but they just got overwhelmed by TOEFL in that retake this time around. I mean, sometimes the retakes, they look a little bit scary, they look a little bit iffy, but once they are fully coordinated, once they are prepared to actually go in together as a team, to push out of halls all the way, it makes it that much more difficult for Pinkunotori. I think they actually had some pretty good post-plant positions set up. Calpaid Naim, for example, hiding in that one little corner, might have been able to take out a couple of players along with her, but unfortunately, marksmanship a little bit lacking. It allows for TOEFL to come into this 6-3, and going into this round now, we still have enough buys, but it's still a little bit scary. They have some ultimates to work with as well, but the marksmanship of Celeste just strikes again.
She's actually really sharp. She just keeps scalping people with that Vandal, and it's like a drive-by. She just takes one out and then walks away. Doesn't even have to use her dismiss. Like, she's really a cut above everyone else right now. She's just really sharp. Getting those opening frags like a good duelist should.
Like a good duelist should. Yeah, we love it when our duelists do that. None of that, lurking, hiding in the back nonsense. Yeah. But still,
not zero. Oh no, she gets a kill onto Raze Flamingo as well to lose another gun. But Nani is gonna kill Celeste Lim. Great pick off there though. That's a really important pick off for Pinkunotori.
I might just be able to thin the numbers a little bit more. But still got to consider the fact that A is heavily fortified right now. We can see that, but Pinkunotori not really. And they just continue to push in without much clearance. Not checking in towards Lambs. Calpate Nam finally goes into strike. Picks up the Vandal as well, and along with that, Spike Plant coming in pretty soon now. Natsero on the flank, though. They don't really expect her. Turns this back into the 1v1, where LP Nani is down to red.
LP Nani has been the hero of this round. 3 kills already for her, and now she wants to secure this clutch. She does have the lockdown as well, and she is going to use it. So that reveals her position, though. So Cypher, Natsero will know where she's going to be coming from, but
push.
Yeah, he has to push. Let's take this lockdown down. Oh, smart play. Probably knows where LP Nani is. It should be heaven. Oh, it doesn't look.
All right, I did.
LP Nani gets the clutch there.
LP Nani, the super heroine of Pinkunotori. You said it. She had the triple kill. She just needs that final one to close it out. And she does. That is such a cerebral play. Having that lockdown first to not only force Natzero's hand, but allowing her to reposition up over into heaven, where Natsero doesn't really expect it. So 6-4 now. This is a good chance for Pinkunotori to basically secure either a 7-5 or 6-6 first half.
Yeah, I like this from TOEFL though. They should not have lost that round. They already got 2 pickoffs at the beginning. It was a 5v3. Celeste gets picked off, turns into a 4v3, and then Nani just went in and took everyone out. So that's the thing, right? Like for a team, and that happens, you typically get a morale shot. Like you get your morale shot from losing a round that you're not supposed to lose. Pinkunotori didn't even have full guns. They had a frenzy on the Astra. She even got a kill of her own. So this timeout is really good. Calm everyone down. Celeste Lim, I guess, the leader of the team, saying that, guys, we got this. I mean, it's 6-4 right now. They're still in the lead. So they're in a pretty good spot. But of course, they want to end the first half with a bigger advantage.
I think absolutely both sides can make the full use of this timeout to kind of just calm yourself down after that clutch. Calm yourselves down after that nerve-wracking round. But of course, this kind of puts TOEFL in a not so good position. They have no choice but to go with upgraded pistols for this round. Of course, though, with the fact that they're on defense, they might just be able to go in for some cheeky peeks, maybe take out 1 or 2 players. It certainly seems like they're trying to set up some kind of crossfire inside of Hookah.
They're actually all just holding W into the side here. It looks like B Long is already compromised for TOEFL, and Pinkunotori twinning 4 members there. There's actually 2 members on Hookah, but they are in an eco though, so there's not much that they can do once Pinkunotori get into the site.
Certainly not too much. There's only 1 player, like you mentioned. Poyo Poyo with a classic of all things as well. Natsero, though, might just be able to change things around. Activates a Neural Theft, picks up the Vandal as well. They know it's going to be a B hit, and that is why the full rotation's coming in to stall and deny the Spike Plant for as long as possible. Classics and strafing, running all over the place, makes her a tough target to hit. But of course, Aquarium with the fully automatic rifle still finishes it off. Cleans up the job. Ying, Hunter Sphere at the best possible time, denies this again. Natsero sprays down from Hookah now, getting a couple more kills. We're down to the 3v3, but Natsero unfortunately finally gets spotted. This wall just makes it a little bit more annoying. Has to ensure that there isn't a single player on the other side. Aquarium trying to push herself back into yet another corner. All the post-plant positions have been set up, and that just makes it a lot more difficult. Ying, though, somehow able to find yet another. She still has shotgunners to work with. Pushes out, gets deleted by Calpin Name, however, and Celeste is looking for the final shot. Vandal, pickup, slowly creeping up front. She's got about maybe 15 seconds left. Has to go in for the tap or maybe the full defuse at this point. Gets the kill, but runs out of time. And that is the round.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that Celeste didn't really have the time to get that gun and go for the reload. I thought she was going to go for that Sheriff headshot. She's been really sharp. She got a headshot right before that. But, you know, really unfortunate she got the kill, but it was too little too late. And it's so hard to play a post line against an Astra, although she didn't have stars anymore, I think. It's just so hard still. Like, the wall could come up, and there's just so many things you need to think about. But for Celeste Lim, She's been stepping up for her team.
So
I think
much.
that they do want to go into the second half with an advantage, but Pinkunotori are catching up.
Certainly. I mean, they've been winning a couple, maybe 3 rounds now at this point. They started off from the back foot, 4-1, and they managed to come and stage this comeback in the first half. Still, though, I think TOEFL have been making a statement. That was a full eco. They managed to kill every single player on the side of Pinkunotori. If they can keep that up, if they can play a little bit more clean, perhaps, they just might be able to make this a whole lot worse for Pinkunotori once they swap sides. Still, though, this is the last round of the first half. We've got stars placed down all over on the A site, where Pinkunotori are trying to find an opening pick.
Yeah, this is actually the slowest I've seen them play. They haven't gotten much information, but at the same time, for TOEFL, they haven't been flanking. In the latter half of this defensive side, they haven't really seen the flanks come in. And I'm not sure if that's the reason why they're not playing so well now, but Poyo Poyo is going to open the round with a kill. Himuru did not flash that corner.
A little bit of a dry peek for sure. Maybe she didn't want to give her position away, but it certainly bites her in the back as well. Cosmic Divide just makes it a whole lot more uncertain for Pinkunotori yet again, but of course they might just be able to push in, gaining some control over Hookah, over Garden now. This is not so good because Natsero is the only one over on B to defend. The other members of her team all the way on A. It's going to be a slow rotate. Natsero has to stall for as long as possible, thus pick up 1, and that is a pretty good win. The wall goes up, she takes off the panel, gets sucked in by the gravity well, but it's not too bad. The spike has been planted, and we are in for a big retake. 5v3. And they have no choice but to get overwhelmed. All members from Pinkunotori flushing back in towards the side of B long. They're not aware that Natsuru is pushing out from the corner of the smoke, though, and that leaves Kape Nam in a 1v5 situation. Pushes up front right now, but unfortunately there's so many bullets flying all over the place that she gets taken out. It's a 7-5 first half.
Amazing anchor from Natsuru there. Just held the site, was able to take 1. And they're forced to plant the spike, so it's so difficult for them to get into post-plant positions. That Astro wall coming in from their own side, though. Pinkunotori's wall didn't really help them out there. I feel like they probably should have closed out Natsuru there. The angle should have been from elbow to spawn and just cover the opening, so that would discourage TOEFL from actually pushing in willy-nilly. But they got the spike down. They thought they could hold the post plant, but Celeste Lim, Hell W killed a few of them, and Natsuru the anchor triple kill off her own on that round. So TOEFL are gonna go into the second half with a 2-round lead. Let's see if they do better on the attacking side, because their retakes haven't been very good. So let's see if their executes are actually good.
Let us see indeed. I mean, I gotta say, I like that they kind of go for this, just whittle away at them. We got this under control. We just gotta play a little bit calm, a little bit cool, collected. They're going for that same-ish approach right now, not too aggressive, not blindly rushing in. They take 1 panel off, they try to find some hits, but unfortunately, it's Celeste's hit that gets spotted instead. It's not the worst thing in the world, though. It's a frenzy, so down to 59 HP she will go, and they still have more options. Take a look at your mini-map. Natsero all the way inside of Showers. If she can take down LP Nani, they should have the A site.
They know that they know each other's positions. Natsuru got tagged by Bullet. 1 shot from Classic. She has armor. So they know that she's there. But the spike is still on B side.
What? And she's still so daringly sneaking up underneath Heaven right now. Finally throws out the Cyber Cage, and that just might have given her position away. But setting up some cameras, buying a lot of space, and just holding it down for her team to come on over and get the spike planted. Remember, Pinkunotori have already lost 1 player early on in the round, and this is something that puts them in a worse position. Natsero, in yet another off angle, catches 2 players now. It's down to the 2v5, and this does not look good for Pinkunotori. Trying to find some shots all the way from Heaven. Unfortunately, it's not so good. They spot her out. Aquarium goes back in for yet another swing. Takes out 2 players. Has to reload. Tops herself off with another heal. The numbers are thinning yet again. If anyone can do it, Aquarium has to be the one to do it. So the wall being up is just going to make it that much more pesky. Goes off with her teammate, but Ying is too nimble. And that means TOEFL picks up 8-5.
Yeah, that was very well executed. Not Zero being in the site kind of scared LP Nani off. She didn't have her alarm bot. She didn't have her robot shooting at Not Zero, so she didn't know where she was. So she hid in halls where actually Celestim already pushed up to get her. So that was a great. You mentioned it right. Not Zero getting that, sneaking to that site,
Yeah.
compromised the site too much. And TOEFL were very quick on the rotate there to secure the site, and they know that everyone rotated to B already.
There are just all these tiny little gaps in map control that just maybe aren't so well defended, and it allows for Nutzeru to push herself into these little pockets, and it's the most incredible thing to watch. She's such a ninja. It's almost the same setup as the previous round right now, because take a look at your mini map. Natsuru again inside of showers. The rest of her team trying to make some noise over on the B site. And because of their guns, they should be able to overwhelm B. But Natsuru is just making
Wait,
some noise
look
of
at
her
LP Nani.
own. No. With a shorty though.
Now let's see. Oh well, she actually too far already, but LP90 might be able to pick someone off here.
Oh.
They're all running with knives. They're running with scissors pretty much.
No!
Oh, she misses the shots.
Ouch. Just like that, again, site control granted to TOEFL for basically free. And again, it's yet another 2v5 situation, and it's one that heavily favors TOEFL right now just because they have the guns. I think we're looking at a 9-5, and if Pinkunotori doesn't pick it up, possibly a 10th.
Yes. I mean, they have classics, they have ghosts. Someone's still watching the rotates, other flanks rather. There's walls still. It's just impossible for Pinkunotori to get anything done here. Time is running out. The stun comes out as well. There's a crossfire and lamps too.
Ooh!
But Aquarium takes one down with a right click.
Ah, not too bad. See, at that point, what you want to hope for is just some economical damage, force them to buy up on the next round, and maybe in the long run that'll kind of hurt them somewhat. It was only one kill, but, morally, in terms of morale, I'll still consider that a win.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, Not Zero already has her ultimate here on that Cypher. This is round 3, and she already has neural theft.
Natseru and Celeste Lim certainly standout players on the side of TOEFL for sure. And it's just so fun to watch. These girls are streamers as well. If I'm not wrong, you might be able to check them out on twitch.tv. But here we go. They continue to push on in. They take down the wall already. It's just a little bit more information. Himuru going a little bit inquisitive, but unfortunately is not able to find a pick. So at this point, it's just all about stalling and kind of denying that entry from TOEFL.
Yeah, I believe Not Zero is actually live right now, so
Oh,
if you
okay.
guys are fans of her anchoring, please do give her a follow. Alright, Himuro, oh, great movement here, but Celeste was ready for that. They know that, Phoenix can push his own molly. And they take one down. TOEFL 5v4 right now. They get the spike down. They get some shock darts out as well. Reyna's a little bit low here. Celestum is going to take another kill yet again. 5v3 right now. She tops herself off with that Devour.
And there we have it. Yet again, it's TOEFL pretty much in the driver's seat. Still, though, trying to find different avenues of entry. One towards Heaven, one towards Lamps. It's going to be Raise a Flamingo to find a couple more headshots. Goes in for the burst, able to pick up one. Dismisses away into cover, but unfortunately, Poyo Poyo just looks down the angle yet again. LP Nani at this point just looking for some exit frags at this point, perhaps. Maybe looking the other way in case someone tried to set up a flank, but pretty much TOEFL are looking to be in a very strong position. It's 10-5, and their economy is not hampered at all.
It's not at all, not affected by the losses. They still have a lot. They still have enough to buy for next round, next 2 even. Pinkunotori, it feels like they keep watching the flanks, and for TOEFL, they haven't really flanked on this attacking side. They just barrel down whichever site they want to go in. And for Pinkunotori, I feel like their holds are the ones that are an issue, right? Like, it was a bit of a problem holding the sites, and at the same time, it seemed like Reyna on Pinkunotori's side was trying to go for that retake anyway, but LP Nani had other plans, so just to save her gun.
Yes. so many rounds where TOEFL have this incredible teamwork. Look at how they're pushing in together, completely surrounding the site. Calpe Nam trying to go up close with the Spectre, but is only able to take out one, and for what? Natsero gets rest up anyway. It's down to 3 more players from the side of Pinkunotori. Make that 2 as the push goes in one by one yet again. Aquarium, last one left alive. Just looking for a little bit more damage.
And the Sheriff not gonna hit the shots though, as Ying Ferrari peeks her, just takes her scalp out. TOEFL look even sharper than they did in the first few rounds. It's like they warmed up, and then all the shots are hitting. And they're even calling a timeout still. Wait.
They are.
I mean, I get it. I mean, we talked about this before. The winning timeout, the rub salt in the wounds, maybe that could also be potentially it.
I'm very
like
curious.
allow the anger to stew on the enemy team.
Because some of them are streaming, right? They're just probably discussing in comms, like, all right, we got, guys, we got this. We're 11-5. All we need is 2 more rounds. Let's just take some time. Maybe think of some strats, because they've got really interesting setups, but also just, let Pinkunotori sweat for a little bit.
Yeah, sweat a lot even. Like they're definitely sweating. They haven't won a round on this defending side, and TOEFL are just having their way.
By the end of the timeout, you find that your mouse pad is drenched. Your keyboard is kind of
sweaty.
Mom spaghetti. we kind of need that mom spaghetti sometimes. We just need some of that lovely maternal support.
For sure. But they're gonna need a lot of support right now on this defending side. Maybe some strats, but look at LP Nani with the judge.
In hookah.
Yeah, I mean, best place to hold the judge in. But it seems like her sneaky judge won't net anything, because no one is actually going to hookah.
Not yet, at least. I like the setup, though. Oh my goodness. Double peek as well, because she had Poyo Poyo to back her up. And just like that, Shower's gone. They pick up the ult orb. She's got her Empress. Natsero doing a little bit more damage as well. This hookah hold, I don't know if it's going to do so much. She's got her turret as a sort of secondary player to play off of contact if she needs to, but if nobody pushes into that thing, then it's not that useful. With one player down, I don't like where this is going, Key.
Not at all. And for the defenders, unless LP Nani gets a few kills with her judge here. Oh, look at that. Smart play from Natsero as well. She doesn't shoot the dart, which means that LP Nani thinks that, okay, she doesn't see me. But that elbow was sticking out.
She's going in with AGLX as well. Secondary player. They stun the turrets. LP Nani has to push up, and unfortunately that's where she gets eliminated. Himuru tries to back it up. She's got a curveball inside, but the spray is still good just because they've got this buddy system. And then the spike gets planted on A. It's such a big brain play that Pinkunotori is kind of confused right now. Where was the push? What just happened? We lost players inside a hookah, but the spike gets planted on a different site.
Yeah, they had a buddy system all the way onto B short onto hookah, but everyone else was just planting, and they just caught them by surprise. For TOEFL, it's a 5v2, but they're still playing their best to secure this round, and it's now 1v4 for Aquarium. Really not much time for her right now. Aquarium does not take anyone down. Celestim is going to finish her off, and TOEFL are now in match point.
Definitely feeling a little bit of the pressure as well. Aquarium not able to even secure one frag in towards that last bit. The spray was just flying all over the place, and there we go, match points. Economy not looking too good for Pinkunotori. I have no idea how they're going to be able to hold. They do have several ultimates, though. Maybe that might just be the game changer that they need, but I just don't know.
Just looks too difficult to do anything right now for them. Again, they have not won a single round on this defending side. They need to change something up, and it's just really not working out.
It's a little bit late to change and it's really unfortunate, but I think we can all kind of see where this is going. There is a slight glimmer of hope if they can stop the push from going through, but they don't look all too confident about peaking as well. The stars are up, but they don't have information, so as soon as TOEFL makes a move, I think it's going to be the site granted to their opponents. Slowly creeping up front. LP Nani hearing all of these sounds, but there we go. Push already in. Spike getting planted. What more can you do?
It's just nothing you could do now. 5v5 retakes, we've talked about this. Most difficult thing to do. There's the wall coming up though. Let's see if that actually helps them kind of slice the site and make their Spectres, their Areses more effective. But there's just so much utility on the field right now. There's just smokes everywhere. They can't find anything. It's 5v5 and no one's falling. The Spike is down, but there's no action. But Not Zero is gonna get taken down. The Spectre is gonna come in handy. Celeste Lim is gonna take one down, dismisses away, and it's a bloodbath. 2v2 right now, and us all down to Aquarium.
Oh no.
No time for her. She's rest up, but there's really no time. They might get the kills, but the Spike is just gonna explode, and that's gonna be it for them. TOEFL is gonna secure this round. Very anticlimactic. The Spike does blow off. They do get the kills finally, but it was just too slow, too little, too late. And TOEFL are gonna win this best of 1 series.
I think that's the entire game, sort of summed up in those 2 words: too late. Celeste Lim and Nut Zero definitely the MVP of the rounds. It's a lovely sort of antics, heroics from Aquarium and Alpinani towards the end of that last round as well. But unfortunately, with the way that they've been playing, I mean, talk about the site being given over to TOEFL just because they weren't really peaking. Maybe they were scared, but zero information. It is allowing for TOEFL to push in, allowing for TOEFL to create a lot of space, and 13-5 is the end of that game.
And we talked about this. Duelists, 7 first bloods on Celeste Lim. Most of it even coming from the defending side. Really opened things up for a team. And for the side of Pinkunotori, I feel like their teamwork needs to be refined a bit. On the side of TOEFL, you could tell that their utility usage is more synchronized. I feel like that's the biggest difference here. The utility usage, right? Pinkunotori,
Yes.
they've had good aimers with LP Nani and Aquarium, but the utility needs to be a little bit more on point for them. The Gravity Wells and the Sova Recon Bolts, all in combination with slows as well from Poyo Poyo from TOEFL, was really a good sight to see. And I really feel that they're probably going to be doing well in this tournament.
Certainly, I have to agree. That's kind of what I wanted to say. I mean, let's be a little bit honest here. You know, they've got the skills. Both teams, they can shoot. Maybe not the cleanest. They're not, you know, really strong marksmen. They're not Forsakens, but they have what it takes. I mean, take a look at all these different strategies, all these different setups that both sides have. TOEFL, especially with players like Celeste Lim, for example. I mean, the way that she was pushing out some rounds, even though she was starting out on defense. And then, of course, you got that Zero as well, which is these incredible sneaky lurks and positional plays that I think Pinkunotori just weren't really expecting this. It's such an incredible, welcoming sight to see in this first game of the day. But that is all we're going to have for now.
Yeah, they're definitely ready to play, and we'll have to see if the next series is going to be as fun, because we saw a great display of skill usage and marksmanship from the side of TOEFL. I'm definitely going to see more of that today.
So that's going to be all that we have for now. We're going to go for a quick break because after this, we've got another matchup coming up with newer teams, newer players. It's going to be a lot of fun. Virtus Arcus Strikers, very interesting name, versus Synchronizers. It's S-I-N Chronizers, so maybe they're from Singapore or something. We're going to have to keep an eye out for these teams. I am incredibly surprised by all this talent that we've got today, so guys, if you want more Valorant action, do not close your browser. We will be back after this.